So as you can see by chapter 11 here, Revelation, about these two witnesses, we've got 4 individuals here. As I've said, Bible's double. What happens here is that the Bible is only giving you the recording of the path and the actions of the false witnesses that are representing the God of the earth. And we know the God of the earth is this fallen prince, the fallen prince of this world. Our Father is not the God of the earth. He's a literal God of the entirety of creation. So we have one group of witnesses which represents the decree of anger and wrath, just as we see that has been carried on from the verses, all the way being associated to Dan being a wicked serpent judge in the last days via Ecclesiastes 3:16. All right, so we follow the path of the false nation witnesses. So these witnesses are now representing nations. So olive tree, the symbolism for the olive tree represents the nation of Israel. This is why you see this nation of the lost tribe of Israel show itself as a torn olive branch. Like I said, you go to the book of Romans, you see that the torn olive branch represents unbelief. Keep in mind, there's the Star of David right above the head. Further biblical symbolism with the nation of Israel. Further symbolism, biblical all the way. Ephraim is representing itself as one of the lost tribes, as English Freemasonry that has found its origin from the tribe of Ephraim, that has its descendancy from Egyptian mystery religion. Straight up. And this is why on the reverse of the Great Seal, you can see the Egyptian pyramid. And then you see that singular eye, that left eye. Well, if you research Zechariah 11:17, it says that these idol shepherds shall have their right eye utterly darkened, which means the only thing that you'll see is their left eye. Well, that lets us know that this is one of the idol shepherds, one of the false nations on the back of our very own dollar bill. So you see the left eye that's staring at you from the pyramid, showing us that it's a fulfillment of Zechariah verse 11:17. Woe unto the idol shepherd, the sword shall be upon his arm, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. That's exactly what it says. So that is further reference right now that we know that we have all the symbolism in place for this Ephraimite English Freemasonry to be representing itself as this Hebrew lost tribe, just like you see right here. Just do a little Google research, people. You don't have to take my word for it. Okay? But you should at least take my connections as what they are. And that's a way to show you to see this thing for what it truly is. Who can correctly divide the word? So if we follow the negative path of the witnesses, you got to understand that they begin to have the power to do what? They have the power to control the weather, to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood. Have we not already seen this happening? Are people not saying that the Illuminati is doing this? But then you see some people in these Christian channels that just insist that God is doing this to plague the world. Well, they don't understand the riddle of the 4 witnesses, like now that you do. And then the riddle of the double of the confusion of Babylon that's been given. So now let's see that we have this peculiar fire that comes out of the mouth. And it says, if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. Well, we got to look at this like, who is really the mouth of their witnesses? Well, Yahweh is the mouth. If they're representing this God of this earth, Yahweh is this God of this earth, being further identified by the fallen prince. So Yahweh's symbolism is the moon. So if the moon is directly associated with the symbolism of Yahweh, and if we can see here that the 2 witnesses have some sort of fire or power to bring fire from their very mouth, well, their very mouth could possibly be the moon. Because we know that some of these Illuminati factions are residing right on the moon itself. And then if the moon is symbolically Yahweh and even the mouth for Israel itself, well, that's where the fire is going to come from. I'll be back.